We're going to look at a great healthy swap involving French toast, one of our favorite breakfast foods, but normally take a slice of bread, put it in milk and eggs, and all of a sudden we're off to the races with syrup, and we're making a real calorie and fat bomb.
Yep. We're going to do a dairy and egg-free French toast, which is kind of nice for those folks who can't eat those things. We're going to jump right in, though. The first thing we're going to start with is we're swapping out the dairy milk with vanilla almond milk, and you can get, there's a lot of brands out there available on the shelf now, and you would get the ones that are slightly sweetened. There's unsweetened available too. Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of, this is Bird's custard powder. And this is available at most grocery stores, especially around the holiday time. If you can't find it now, you'll just wait a few weeks. It'll be available everywhere. And it's basically a starch. You're going to blend that in and add a teaspoon of almond extract to give it a little extra boost in the flavor. So you've got that vanilla and that almond coming out.
Yeah, the flavor in the milk as well as the custard powder and that almond. You get a lot of flavor in there.
Yeah, and it's better to actually add the milk to the powder because it blends a little bit better. But this will dissolve.
Are we changing the bread as well?
Yes, we are using a sprouted grain bread, but you can use any kind of bread if you need to use a gluten-free. You know, the Food for Life or Udi's has some products, Rudy's.
And looking at this wash, this is something for people who probably couldn't use dairy normally.
Correct, absolutely dairy-free. And then you're going to add your bread and let it soak, and then put it into a pan, and I like to use almond oil to fry it with, just to stay with the almond theme, and it also has a high melting point. And let that cook. Meanwhile, we're going to make the sauce. And instead of using pancake syrup, which is high fructose corn syrup,
is the syrup more of an offender as far as calories and fat than the actual French toast?
Well, calories, not so much fat. It's not that high in fat, but it's going to blow the calories, and it's also a lot of sugar, and we really want to kind of cut down on that sugar any place you can.
So instead of that,
we're going to do a blackberry puree.
Okay.
And what you do there is you're going to take a vanilla bean pod and cut it in half and scrape out the seeds and throw that in your pot.
Okay.
And then you're going to add about a pound of frozen blackberries. You could use canned blackberries or fresh. And to that, you're going to add a tablespoon of lemon juice.
Are we working on some low heat here?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to melt it. You just want to bring it to a boil. And I add a half a cup of stevia. You can also add sugar there if you want to, but the stevia does a great job. You let that get hot, and the stevia will dissolve, bring it up to a boil, and once it's hot, you're going to put it in a blender and blend it till it's smooth.
Right.
And my blender's not on, so I'm going to skip that step. And you pour it into a sieve. You know.
So you smooth it in the blender first, then you sieve drain it.
Right. And you're going to take your spatula and just press down, and your solids will come out. Your sauce will be thicker once you blend it in the blender first. And that's it for your sauce. You take your blackberry puree, pour it over your French toast, serve it with some fresh blackberries and some sliced almonds.
We have a final product here that looks beautiful.
Yep, and it's delicious and healthy, and you can eat it if you're dairy restricted.
Well, we talk about dairy restrictions being averted there, so let's also talk about what we've done as far as calorically and as far as the
this particular recipe, using the bread that we're using, we've cut the calories of a typical French toast by at least a third.
That's terrific. Well, it looks delicious, and of course, if you want to get the recipe or if you want to have any other questions for Kelly, you can check out our website at kwgn.com. And if you have questions about the foods, you can also call the kitchen hotline today between noon and 4. The number right there on your screen is 877-773-8485, and learn a lot more about this and many other tips from the kitchen hotline. Thanks, Kelly. Great to see you again. Colorado Health officials